Hello and welcome. Thank you for listening. My name is Sarah Baumert. I'm a yoga teacher, Feldenkrais practitioner, and host of the Sarah B. Yoga podcast. The Sarah B. Yoga podcast and my practice, Body Matter, is an interdisciplinary learning space where we explore the many ways that movement can help facilitate body acceptance and awareness, reduce pain and stress, regulate the nervous system, and build strength and ease. My teaching plays with the synthesis of Feldenkrais awareness through movement lessons, traditional yoga asana, creative imagery, breathing exercises, self-massage, and a compassionate mindset to help you feel a greater sense of ease and comfort in yourself. Sarah B. Yoga and Body Matter have a lot of other program offerings. These podcasts are just a taste of my teaching. Each week I teach a range of online classes, including a gentle yoga class, a level 2 class for more advanced students, and Feldenkrais classes with monthly themes, anatomy lessons, and Q&A sessions for more in-depth study. I have 2 new online series offerings for the fall. A Feldenkrais series titled Coming to Your Senses, an exploration of the spaces of the eyes, the mouth, jaw, ears, vocal, and breathing apparatus. And my second course, Wakeful Body, the blending of yoga and Feldenkrais on Monday nights. As one student recently described Monday nights, that felt like I just gave myself a massage. So these fall classes will be a continuation of some fan favorite stretching sequences that incorporate bolsters and other props to enhance the poses. There is still plenty of time to join these courses live or via the course recordings. You can find more information about these offerings in the show notes. Okay, on to today's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello, and welcome to episode 44 of the Sarah B. Yoga podcast. I'm Sarah Baumert, your host and teacher. I teach a slow-flowing, alignment-based practice. Today we are going to do a 20-minute practice that will focus on the abdominals and the upper body. You will need either a yoga blanket or a towel. So if you don't have that nearby your mat, you may want to pause and go find that. We're going to start with the blanket right away, and then we won't need any other props. So you're going to grab your blanket and roll it up into a very long and skinny roll. Long enough so that as you place it the length of your mat, you'll be able to lie down on it with both your tail and your head on the blanket. And that blanket should be maybe 3 or 4 inches wide so that it's just right underneath your spine. So as you're finishing that up, once you have the roll, then just go ahead and lie down onto it. Again, making sure that your tailbone has some of that blanket underneath it, the whole spine, and all the way up to the head. And just resting there for a moment, bend your knees and place your feet on the floor so they're about hips distance. And just let your arms release out to the side with your palms up. Close your eyes. And bringing your attention to your breath, we're going to start with a count of the breath. So you'll inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 4. Taking this on your own timing. And on your next breath cycle, inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and pause for 2 counts at the end of your exhale. Try to soften your face and your jaw and allow the torso to respond to the movement of the breath. If you can slow down the breath at all, extend your count to 5 or 6. And continue to pause at the end of the exhale. Now extend your arms all the way out to a T shape with the palms up. So the very backs of your hands will be touching the floor, and you'll use this to start with as a way to help you balance, almost like a kickstand for this next exercise. The abdominal work we're going to do here is going to be quite playful, so just have fun with it. Bring your legs up now to a tabletop position where the thighs are vertical and the shins are parallel to the floor. Let's flex the feet, spread the toes, bring the inner legs and the inner feet and the inner ankles together so your legs are one unit. And just notice how this creates a little bit more of a unsteady position that you feel like you really have to balance your spine, your hips on the blanket. Try to keep your shoulders open, your jaw relaxed. Continue with your breath. On your next exhalation, you're going to take your right heel and tap it down towards the floor. You'll keep your right knee in its 90-degree bend. So as you move your right heel towards the floor, it's a movement that comes at your hip joint. So you exhale, tap the right heel down, just touch the floor, and inhale, bring the right leg back up to the tabletop position. Again, exhaling now with your left heel, tapping it down, and inhale up. Continuing that with your breath. Exhale, right heel taps down. Inhale to lift. Exhaling down. And inhale to lift back to tabletop. Continuing that still, seeing if you can stay broad across your chest. Try not to have too much weight on the backs of your hands, but if you do find it hard to balance, you can really use that for support. And if you're finding that this is pretty simple, then a way to challenge the exercise as you continue tapping here is to slowly move your arms. So imagine you're making a snow angel with your arms and you're just going to make one swoop up. So the backs of your hands will very slowly glide along the floor until the arms are overhead on the floor. So the arms are right alongside the ears, reaching for the wall behind you. The backs of the hands can then stay on the floor. Again, arms would be right alongside the ears, strong and straight arms, feeling that reach, trying not to lift through the ribs, and continue that tapping of the heels. Let's take two more. One more with both legs. And then when you're done with that, just place your feet back to the floor and take a few breaths in and out. So if your arms are out to the side or overhead, just take a moment to extend your arms so they're not alongside your body. Fingertips are down by the heels. Turn your palms so that they face in towards your legs. So your little finger side of the hand and the arm is on the floor. We're going to inhale for a count of 4, coordinating by lifting the arms up towards the ceiling and all the way overhead. And exhaling on a count of 4, lifting the arms back up towards the ceiling and then towards your legs. Just like that, inhaling, arms lift up and overhead. Exhaling, arms move up and forward towards the feet. Last time like that, as your arms move, see if your ribs can stay quiet so the front ribs don't pop up. The front ribs are melting towards the hips. Good. Exhaling, arms come forward towards the feet. We're going to add on to that. So inhaling, arms lift all the way over alongside the ears. And on your exhalation, taking your arms up, drawing your chin towards your chest, and extending your arms as far as you can, maybe even beyond your shins. Looking towards your thighs, drawing your lower belly down. Good. Inhaling, take your arms up, lower your head, arms all the way over towards the ears. And exhaling, a little slower with your exhale, chin towards the chest, extending your arms. Pause at the end of your exhale. Keep reaching through the arms. continue to stay here for another breath in and out, and feel like your feet are very light. So it's as if you're going to lift your feet off the floor, but you don't quite do it. So there's hardly any weight with the feet. Good. And then on your breath in, slowly lower down, taking your arms up and overhead. Exhale, arms lift. Draw the chin towards the chest. Keep exhaling and pause at the end of the exhale. Very light with the feet, like you're about to pick them up, but they don't actually leave the floor. And inhale, slowly lower, arms come overhead. So that one more time. Exhaling, arms lift towards the ceiling, chin to chest, peel the shoulders, the spine up. Lighten your feet, drawing the lower belly down. And inhale, the arms are going to come right back overhead. Great. Now taking your arms so that they are alongside your body again, so fingertips can be by the hips. Fingertips can be on the floor to help you balance. Extend your legs straight up so that they're vertical. Let's flex the feet, draw the inner legs together again. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, just lower your legs down about 45 degrees. At any point, if your lower back starts to hurt, don't lower your legs quite as much. So we're working in that range between vertical and 45, whatever works for your lower back. Good. Now, keeping your fingertips on the floor to help you balance at first, just creep the fingertips forward. Draw your forehead towards the knees, so you curl the head, the shoulders, the upper back. And this is your number one pose. So pose number one, just remember this. Good, now draw your knees back towards that tabletop position that we were using earlier. Release your head and your shoulders down. This is pose number two. So breathe in here. On your exhale phase, you're going to extend the legs out to that 45-degree angle, lift the head, creep the fingertips forward into pose number one. Good. Inhale, back to tabletop. Drop your head, drop your shoulders. Exhale, pressing the feet forward. As if there's a wall right there that you press with your feet to extend the legs into that pose number one. And inhaling, come back to tabletop, release your head. A couple more times. Exhale, slowly pressing forward. So slow, elongated abdominal work here. And then inhale, come back to tabletop. Nice and smooth. Exhaling, extend your legs forward out to that 45-degree angle. Creep your fingertips forward. And inhale, back to tabletop. Last time, exhaling, extend. And inhale to tabletop. Good. Release your feet to the floor. Release your arms. Okay, take your arms all the way out to the side so they're out in a T shape. And lift your arms up so they are just hovering off of the floor, palms facing up. Pick up your toes and the balls of your feet so you just have your heels on the floor right now. You're going to exhale, draw your left knee towards your chest and tap your left knee with your right hand. And then without a big bump or a big boom to the floor, bring the left heel back down, right arm reaches back out to the side. Exhale, right knee lifts, tap your right knee with your left fingertips, and then come open with the arms, the right heel comes to the floor. So you're going to continue like that, alternate leg and arm. Really soft touch of the heels to the floor, and your arms are trying to stay off the floor the whole time. So tapping your left knee and right knee with alternate hands. Trying that a couple of times. Again, being really playful with this. If it's really easy, then keep your feet from touching the floor at all. So they'll just hover right off of the floor. And it's kind of like a messy bicycle that you're doing here. Almost as if you're on a boat and you're trying to stay afloat and not tip over. just a couple more times like that. Again, having fun, continuing to breathe. Great. Let's slowly release that and just roll to your side. Set your blanket aside. You won't need it anymore. You're going to come all the way up to your hands and your knees. Spreading your fingers, placing the hands to the right underneath the shoulders, and extend your legs all the way back into a plank position. Holding plank here for a little while, focusing on our alignment. You want to make sure your elbows aren't locked. So you have a mini bend of the elbows. With that mini bend, keeping it, hug the forearms towards one another. Externally rotate the upper arms and feel your chest spread open. Seeing if you can find more width across the collarbones to the inner shoulders. The sides of the neck are long. Make sure you're not dropping your head, so your gaze should be down right between the hands with the crown of the head extending forward, like you're trying to lengthen your spine. The heels reach back, and the lower belly is lifting towards the lower back. You should feel like your lower belly is pretty warm after some of that abdominal work, so it should be engaged here. Okay, so you're going to exhale your right knee to touch your right elbow, or as close as you can to get it, and inhale, set that right foot back to plank. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. We're going to do it 10 times. Inhale, back. Exhale, right knee touches the right elbow, and inhale back. You're trying not to change your plank position. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Inhale, back. So you don't lose any of that alignment. The right knee just moves forward. Inhale, back. Good. Breathing. Exhale. Inhale, back. Exhale, right knee taps the right tricep or right elbow. Inhale, step back to plank. Last time, exhale. And inhale, back to plank. Left side, exhaling, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, back to your long plank. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, step back, plank. Exhale, left knee forward. Inhale, back. Exhale. Inhale, back to plank. Continuing about 5 more times. If you need a modification, you can bring your right knee down. And just continue that movement of the left knee forward to the elbow, and then the left leg straightens back into plank pose. Good. One more time. Coming all the way back to plank. Breathe in here. As you exhale, reach back to down dog. This is going to feel very good. A little bit of a break. Extend through the outer armpits. Feel the thighs move back. Really press the floor away with your hands. Try to lift out of your wrist joint. Good. Inhale, come forward into high plank again. From high plank on your hands, you're going to come down to forearm plank. Elbows are shoulder distance. Hands are going to be interlaced. You're making a little triangle with your forearms. Taking your shoulders so they're right over your elbows. The hips want to be as low as the shoulders. Legs are long, again, reaching back through the heels. So we're going to alternate from forearm plank up into the more traditional plank on hands. We're going to do it, there's 2 sides to it. We'll do it a number of times. So breathe in here in your forearm plank. And as you exhale, set your right hand where it needs to be for traditional plank. Push through that right arm and then set your left hand down as well. So you're up in high plank. Exhale, bring your right forearm down. And then your left forearm down, so you're back in forearm plank. We're going to alternate between those a little quicker. So right hand pushes, left hand comes up. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Right hand pushes straight, left hand. Right forearm and left forearm. Continuing that, you do not want to move your hips side to side as you do this. So try to keep your hips as level as you can without doing a lot of swinging of the hips side to side. Good. Lower belly continues to lift. Next time you come down to your forearms, we're going to switch sides. So left hand begins, then right hand presses up. Left forearm comes down and right forearm. Good. If you're getting a little tired, you can come down to your knees. That's always a good modification for these plank exercises. Chest stays broad. The neck is long. Relax the jaw. Feeling the length all along the spine. Good. One more on that left side, ending with your forearms down. Drop your knees down. Interlace your fingers if they're not already, and walk your elbows another inch or two together. Walk your knees back a few inches and reach back into dog in prayer. So your forearms are going to stay on the floor. Your hips move back, the forehead drops to the earth. It should feel like a really nice stretch for the upper back, the shoulders, the triceps, even the abdominals that we worked. Good. Let your sternum release towards the earth. As you exhale, draw the navel up towards the back and feel that support, the awareness that we created in the lower belly. Good. Inhale, come forward, coming back onto hands and knees, turn the toes under. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Let your head release so the ears are right alongside the upper arm bones. Feeling your heels ground towards the floor, sitting bones lift. Good. Bend your knees just a little bit. And keep moving your thigh bones back even though your knees are bent. Keep feeling your sitting bones rise and the pelvis lift off of the lower back. And then walk your hands all the way back to your feet, hanging forward in Uttanasana. Release some of that work that we did through the shoulders and the upper body. Let your head drop. Good. Pushing down through the feet. Let's inhale up into a flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Sweep the arms wide and up overhead. Let your gaze lift up towards the hands, open through the throat. Tailbone releases towards the floor. And exhale, sweep your arms wide and down. Letting your arms release alongside the body into Tadasana. And just take a few breaths here. Feeling the center, the abdominals awake. The shoulders and the upper back warm. Continue to open and spread the chest so that area, even the pec muscles, the chest area that we work, doesn't close off. And from here you can continue with some of your own practice or hop on over to another podcast. This abdominal work is always such a great way to start any practice. Namaste.
Are you enjoying this podcast? I've chosen to offer these audio recordings freely for over 15 years. I do this because research shows yoga, yoga nidra, and Feldenkrais to be valuable practices, those which I would like to share widely. Dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, has always been a pillar of my business. And more generally, Dana is the inclination to give without expecting any form of repayment. It does, however, take a fair amount of time, effort, and cost to maintain and keep the podcasts available. If you feel you've benefited from what you've learned from these classes, then please do consider making a contribution towards the maintenance and upkeep of the classes. It will help ensure that I can continue to offer the podcast classes freely and keep generating new material. Give what you can, give what feels good. If it's too little, it won't feel good. If it's too much, it won't feel good. Links to support the show monetarily can be found in the show notes. And other ways to give include sharing the podcast with others, leaving a 5-star rating and review, or just sending me an email with how the classes have affected you. Thanks so much.